Hello and welcome everybody to another episode of 9 to 5 Mac Overtime. I am Fernando and this is my co-host.
Jeff, how's it going, everybody?
Episode 10, baby. We made it. Double digits.
We did.
It's a big deal.
It is. It is. What did you say the statistics were? Like most podcasts don't
Mm-hmm.
make it past episode, 3 or something like that?
Yeah, it was like, 25% of podcasts don't make it past episode 3 and only 1% of podcasts make it past episode 10.
Wow.
So all of a sudden, we're in the top 1%. Supposedly. Supposedly.
Allegedly.
Yeah. Honestly, I thought this week was going to be a little bit more hyped, It started off with a nice little bang with the M3 MacBook Air release, but then that was it. Crickets the rest of the week.
And you were profoundly disappointed, I would imagine.
I mean, we're recording this on a Friday, but I doubt Apple's going to release anything at this point.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was really hoping for an iPad this week. We just got the M3 MacBook Air. And what are your thoughts on that thing, man?
I think it's pretty cool. I think it's, right. I mean, the best value in Apple Macs, no doubt. Like outside of the Mac Mini, arguably, but the best value because you're getting a 15-inch display. I mean, there's 13-inch models as well, but 15-inch MacBook Air with an M3 chip for $12.99.
That's not bad.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
People are saying that they're saying, oh, only 8 gigs of RAM, 256 gigs of storage. Yeah, it's a little low, but for the most part, for the type of person that's going to use it, especially if you know who you are, if you're getting the baseline model, it's essentially a netbook for you, or like a Chromebook with Apple software.
Don't say netbook.
Right? Steve Jobs turned in his grave there. But I still think I agree. It's an amazing value for that computer at the 15-inch mark with that build quality. We all know Mac OS is Mac OS, and the M3 chip is just going to get a little bit faster than the M2.
The 15-inch is really the thing that sets the Air apart because, I mean, you get a pretty large display. You get that new midnight color with supposedly better anodization. Apparently, it's not that much better, according to the people I've talked to. And then it also gets, what else does it get? It gets that, the ability to have two displays at once.
Yeah. Of course, with Apple's caveat,
Yeah.
But yeah, like you were saying, dual display support finally, because the M1 and M2 don't support dual display natively. But like you were going to say, you can only do it in clamshell mode. So the display has to be closed, which means you have to spend more money on a Bluetooth keyboard and a Bluetooth mouse if you want to roll that way. And of course, Apple wants you to buy theirs,
Of course.
But, although the Starlight color, I was seeing some pictures of it. I know that the Starlight color has been out for a little while, and they've had it on the previous generations, but it's calling my name. As much as I love the Midnight Blue, the Starlight color is probably the next color MacBook I'd get.
Really? Yeah. It looks pretty good. Yeah.
But I mean, outside of the dual display support, we obviously got the M3 chip. I think we got a new mic array, so like an extra mic is in there. But outside of that, there wasn't really anything else. Just like a 2024 hardware spec bump.
Yeah, like you get Wi-Fi 6E, which is, I mean, that's an upgrade.
But yeah, that's the MacBook Air. That's the one release we got, unfortunately. Unless you have anything else you want to say about that thing.
No, hopefully next week we'll be talking about iPads because that's the real exciting thing we're looking forward to for sure. Well, speaking of Apple products, we thought we'd do something a little bit different this time. We're going to actually have a little debate. So we're going to consider our top 5 Apple products that Apple currently sells, not in its history, but things that you can go out to apple.com and purchase right now. The top 5 products that we think are must-haves for our workflow or for everyone else as well. And the catch is we have to agree.
We do have to agree.
Yeah. I don't know if that's going to be possible. So that's part of the whole debating thing and just trying to make your argument, so to speak. But we won't take a lot of time on each one. We'll probably spend like 5 minutes on each. And
so we think. Unless we agree right away. But if we disagree, it could go a little long.
Yeah. So the number one, so maybe we can go back and forth. So I'll do one, you do 2, vice versa.
And then we'll try to agree. Yeah. Are we doing this in any particular order or just kind of like a top 5?
I'd say make it the number one thing should be the number one thing you think. You get. Okay. So it is in order. So now I have my number 1. Okay. And I'm hoping you will agree with this.
Okay.
My number 1 is AirPods Pro 2.
AirPods Pro 2.
That's
Pro. Your number 1 product.
This is my number 1 Apple product that I recommend
I got mine
Now the
USB.
iPhone is just like it's in my list, but
Yeah,
it's not. What fun is that? I mean,
it's
iPhone is like
a cop out, you know. Everybody
yeah,
needs the iPhone for this, but let's.
yeah, because the iPhone is like the centerpiece. I mean, you can't have. I mean, you can have
It's the
a
engine,
Mac.
you know.
Yeah, it's there. I think we both agree that it should be there, but
Hmm.
if it's not, then it's not a big deal. But I think these are the number one product that Apple sells that can't I can't be without. I use them every single day
Yeah.
for multiple things. They're super useful for in all sorts of scenarios. Where you're flying on a plane, you have noise cancellation. Even like when you're having a conversation, there's a conversation awareness where you're like drop the music and
Yeah.
like you just start. It's just so convenient. Like, and you got great battery life for the most part. These are
Hmm.
starting to kind of. These are
Are
old.
those the USB-C ones or the
These are
Lightning?
not. I have the USB C ones. I haven't even opened them though. I've had them for like a
Yeah.
month because of the Vision Pro,
Yeah.
um, but I haven't even opened them. Um, but yeah, so it has Find My support. Um, the sound quality is really good in my
Hmm.
opinion.
Yeah.
You have the different ear tips for the different fit. You can have a volume adjustment that you can adjust your volume. You have the spatial audio, which works great. Works with the
Hmm.
Vision Pro as well. And then, of course, you have your assistant. So you can
Yeah.
do all sorts of things. And it plays so nice with the Apple Watch as well, which actually isn't even in my top five at all.
Oh,
Um,
really?
no,
Whoa.
it's not.
Okay.
Oh, so I might have to change my mind
Yeah.
here. But to me, like, because my sister actually just got her first pair of AirPods and she was just like, I'm
Okay.
like, you're going to love these things. She was skeptical. She got them. She
Okay.
texted me. She's like, yeah, you were right. These are amazing. Like, it's just something I can't go without.
I tend to agree with you. I would say that the AirPods Pro Gen 2 has to be the closest thing to a perfect product that Apple's ever made. It checks off every single box. It even going from Gen 1 to Gen 2, I wasn't expecting much, but the performance boost was kind of insane. They got so much better at noise cancellation, so much better at the conversation boost. And it's one of those products that I've noticed. I mean, I'm kind of agreeing with you across the board here, but it's one of those products that, you tell people not to buy something for the promise of what it's going to do tomorrow, but this is a product that's gotten better over time. It's like you spend 250 on them. Yes, they're kind of expensive. Amazon usually has them for $200, by the way, but it's gotten better over time, right? They've included like the adaptive noise cancellation, which has been awesome. That's also gotten better over time since its release. It's seamless. It connects to all your devices without even a hiccup. Like the second I finish here, it'll connect to my iPhone if I needed to connect my iPhone if my wife calls again or something. So, and for how small the package is, the noise cancellation is insane. Absolutely insane.
It is. And it's wireless charging. Yeah.
Yeah. With MagSafe also that was implemented on there. So it's hard to make an improvement on this, and obviously the numbers make an argument for themselves. Like Apple has said that this product alone is enough to be like a Fortune 10 company in the U.S. you know, so I tend to agree with you. Like I couldn't go anywhere without my AirPods. Grocery store, cleaning the house, during work, for Zoom calls. Um, that's yeah,
like we're
sounds
using them
amazing.
now. Like
Yeah,
and that's a testament because it's like we're doing like business stuff, work,
yeah.
and like and they're small, they're compact. So you just like it's not, and they're portable. Like it fits in there, so you have more charge. That charges the
Hmm.
AirPods. It's they're iconic at this point. Like this was so weird. Just think
Yeah,
when
you
the
remember?
AirPods, yeah, how the stigma
With
that they
the
had.
stock that I had, it's like you got a toothbrush in your ear. What is that?
Yeah, now everyone has them.
Yeah.
Everyone, like, and everyone is mimicking them.
Hmm.
Like
Every company has their own version of it.
every company, man. It's like I could not go back to a wire headset. Like you look
Yeah.
at someone that has a wire. Like I saw a picture of I think I can't remember who it was, but they had in their hand a pair of ear pods with the
Oh
wire,
wow.
and it
The old
just
school.
looks so antiquated.
Yeah.
It makes the person who's holding them look old or out of touch a little bit, and that to me speaks to like
Just
how
how
good
they've
these
been able
are.
to.
Change the
Yeah, I
game.
mean it's part of the culture now. Honestly, like if you don't have, I'm not gonna say it's bad if you don't have AirPods, but it's like when I see people like on the subway in New York and they have like a different, like a black pair of headphones in their ear, I'm like, hmm, like what is that? Like what is that in your ear?
Yeah.
And that, and like other companies like Bose and Sony and other companies make good headphones for sure,
Hmm.
but the price to performance ratio on this thing unmatched. And
And
it
it's
is like I
just
mentioned, just a perfect product. There's nothing that they could really do better for it, I don't think.
and it's so well integrated into
Hmm.
the ecosystem. Like just like you said, it just works. You open up your iPhone, it's connected, right? Even
Yeah.
with like your Apple TV, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Like I
Another
use it all
thing that
to.
I didn't know that I would use. So I used to think like, why would people want to connect headphones to an like to their TV? But now where it's like when my wife is like asleep for me or like my daughter's asleep or like now I see the reason,
Yeah.
right? I got my Apple TV. Like I walk in. So this is another great scenario. This is going to turn into the I Love AirPods podcast, but take my dog out with my AirPods in, right? I come back inside. The TV's on in the living room. The TV recognizes that I walked into the room and then asks me, "Do you want to connect your headphones to the TV?" And I just press yes. And then it disconnects from my iPhone, and now I'm watching TV through my headphones or listening to the TV through my headphones.
Yeah.
Unreal. Like that
Yeah.
little magic moment. People don't think about, like, I've never even thought about that until this moment, right? It's just how seamless it is.
And like in an airport, I just love them. Like
Yeah.
on an airplane, I love them. Noise cancellation works great. Then you have the transparency, so you can still hear what's going around you. Like this thing changed the game in so many different
Yeah.
ways, and it's also very, like the audio quality is good, both from a microphone perspective with the beam
Hmm.
forming and all of that, and from a just the overall sound quality perspective. Like you get some pretty decent low end on these, even though I mean obviously physics apply here,
Yeah.
so it's going to you have to be realistic, but it's pretty good.
It's
Like
pretty bassy too, which I like for
mhm,
the music that I
yeah,
listen to.
yeah,
Like I said, there are maybe other ones that are better at one particular thing, right? But at the end of the day, these are the most well-rounded headphones, in my opinion. Now,
yeah.
I don't know how I know that it connects to Android phones, but how nice is it play with Android phones? That's I guess
With
something that I would want to know.
Yeah, I don't think that very nice. I mean, I know you can connect. You just hit this little button on the back, and
Yeah,
but I
they
don't
make
think
it
it's
very inconvenient to do so.
the one thing I wish the AirPods had, and it was
Uh-huh.
rumored that they would have them for a while, but it never actually shipped, is the ability to charge the AirPods off your phone like that. Because
Yeah.
some Samsung, I think the Galaxy Buds have that feature, which is
Hmm.
it's a really nice feature, and that's
Yeah.
the one thing that I feel like these are missing. That the version, hopefully, the third version will be able to support.
Yeah. I
So
think I've had to charge because now with USB-C iPhones, thank goodness, I have a little like keychain with one of those like tiny little like
nomads.
emergency cables. Yeah, the Nomad ones.
Hmm.
And I did charge my Lightning headphones, my Lightning AirPods with my phone the other day because I needed a little extra boost. And that worked nice. But yeah, it would be nice to just wirelessly charge it and not have to carry around another cable.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
that would be nice.
So do we agree that this is the number one?
I'm gonna give you a yes, but I do want to
Okay.
throw an honorable mention as number one, and maybe we'll talk about them as number two. But you just said the Apple Watch. You said that you're not gonna put it in the top five. That's
I,
crazy. That seems
I
crazy to me.
really,
Well, I
I don't
mean,
know. Maybe I'm just not that person. Like I don't like this is literally the second day that I've worn my Apple Watch Ultra and probably since before the new year. Like,
really?
yeah, I don't wear my Apple. I usually wear a mechanical watch.
Okay.
I just don't find it. I don't know. I guess I don't do enough like the workout side of things. Like I do like work out,
Yeah. Yeah.
but
Hell yeah.
I guess I
You and
don't.
Flo.
Yeah, I guess I just don't use it. I don't know why. It's just
And
I,
to go back on that, I guess I don't like quote unquote use it. Like I'm not like sitting there typing on it. I'm not sitting there doing a lot on it. But I don't know what it is. Maybe psychologically, I do use it for working out and things like that. And I do the weekly competition sometimes with buddies and things like that. But for me, it's like if I don't wear my Apple Watch, my day doesn't count. And I think it's just because I've been so trained to just be in my fitness app. I mean, I don't even look at the fitness app that often. It's just kind of like I want to count my steps. I want to make sure it's reading my like heart rate and things like that. So for me, if I don't wear the Apple Watch, again, it feels like my day doesn't count. And I have like a couple of nicer watches, and I just don't wear them. Like my
huh?
daddy said, "Why don't you wear your like nicer watch?" It was like because I like wearing my Apple Watch every day.
Yeah,
So that's why I do think if Apple did make a ring form factor, because I think I use Apple Watch 95% of the time for the fitness aspect. It's cool to get the notifications and things like that, and maybe for setting a timer when I'm cooking. But if Apple made like an Aura Ring competitor, I would immediately transfer to that, so then I can also wear like mechanical watches, like you said, but still have my day count. But
Or
in
you could
terms of
just do
how,
like a '90s rapper and wear both watches on both hands.
I could be doing that. My dad does that with he has like a Garmin watch that he likes to wear, or just like any other mechanical watch too. But then he's got a Fitbit on the right hand side always. That's the old school way. But I
Yeah.
don't know if I can pull that one off. But I would put the Apple Watch for sure in my top five in terms of how often I get out of bed and put it on my wrist, because it's
Oh,
just on me at all times.
I mean, I can agree with that. I don't know if I'd put it in number two spot, but I agree that it probably should be in the top five.
Hmm.
I guess my biggest complaint with the watch, and it's less of an issue with the Ultra, but still an issue, is just battery life. Like, I
Yeah.
just like if it dies, it's always like, I guess I'm not disciplined enough to have the routine of to put it on its charger.
Hmm.
But it's like if it's dead, I just don't even fool with it. Like it's just like, all right, it's not charged.
Really?
I'll just default back to my mechanical watch. And I'm just like, and it's not, it's like the charger's right there, but it's just
Hmm.
I don't know what it is. It's like an annoying thing. It's like, man, this thing dies too quickly. It's 2 days.
It does.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just still not enough. Like I want this thing to last 7 days.
Yeah.
Like
Like I just don't
that's,
want to think about the battery.
I don't.
Yeah. It's one of
Yeah.
those things to be on whenever I need it to be on, which I agree
Yeah.
with. Like if I'm using the fitness app once, or like I record one workout a day, it won't get me through that second day. I'll have to throw it on the charger when I shower, or like I do have an Apple Watch charger. I have Apple Watch chargers everywhere on my desk, my nightstand, and we got one in the living room just in case. So I can just like throw it on there for half an hour if I need to, because I need it to be on.
Yeah. And I guess another thing is like the sleep tracking. Like I hate wearing this watch at night. I don't like having
Mhm.
this on my wrist at nighttime.
Yeah.
I can't do it. I've
Hmm.
tried, and I've tried to use it for an alarm because I want to make sure I get up on time. Like I try to
Yeah.
get up every day at 6 a.m. And I like how it kind of like gently wakes you up
I love
with
that
the
feature.
little. That's a great feature, but I just
Hmm.
can't wear this thing at night. I can't.
Yeah.
It just like the way I sleep. I usually have like kind of lay like this, and it's like
Uh-huh.
this thing just gets in my face, and
Okay.
it's annoying, man. And
No, I
even
see
with
that.
and it's too bright as well. I've noticed like
Hmm. I definitely
I
see that issue, the sleeping issue. Like it took
yeah
me a
it's
little while to get with the Ultra, especially. It's one thing to get used to the series, the regular like 40, what is it, 41 millimeter now for the small one, and 45, or maybe even more, 42, 46, because that's a little bit more rounded. It's smaller, it's more compact, and the Ultra is a little bit bigger, heavier, more rough around the edges. It took me a couple days to get used to it. The first night I got the Apple Watch Ultra and tried to sleep with it, I had to take it off because I couldn't sleep. Now it's to the point where I can sleep with it, but I don't use it like I don't really. I'll do the sleep tracking once or twice a week. I don't really care for it too much. I like to see what's going on, but I mostly use it for like when I start my day. Like I get up, that's the first thing I do is slap my Apple Watch on and then go brush my teeth, which is kind of crazy now that I think about it.
I think it deserves to be there. I mean, with
Hmm.
that being said, especially given how many people love their Apple Watch,
Yeah.
and I mean, it's everywhere.
If you don't have a data Apple Watch, jump on it because my Ultra is my first data Apple Watch, and it's amazing with the AirPods, like we were talking about.
Yeah,
Throw that thing on there on a walk, so you don't bring your phone with you all the time, because I don't want to be like looking down at my phone when I'm walking. And it's good. It works very well.
yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
It
It's
is.
a good little combo.
I just think there's so many caveats still with the Apple Watch. I mean, it's a
Yeah,
great product, but there's still a
it's far
lot of
from perfect. Like
yeah,
the AirPods Pro, like you said, pretty much perfect in my
pretty
opinion.
much. Yeah,
Apple Watch, it needs. There's a lot that still needs to be done, but again, I had to put it in here because I just use it every single day.
yeah.
One of
Okay,
those
fair
things.
enough. Fair enough. But
Yeah.
can we put it at like number four?
Okay. Let's put it at number four. Let's put it at number four for now and see where we end up with the other three.
Okay. All right. So you said Apple Watch. I said
Yeah.
AirPods Pro. You said Apple Watch. I would say the next most impressive thing. I don't know if we should go this route. I was going to say Apple Silicon. Either say
Okay.
Apple Silicon or we say one of the MacBooks. I would say the MacBook Pro or Air, either one. I mean, I guess the reason
Let's
why
go.
they're
Let's go
so
with the silicon. Let's go with the overall like chip.
Apple Silicon is what I mean. That's what makes all these products possible.
Yeah.
Every single
Yeah.
last one of them on this list is possible because of Apple Silicon.
Hmm. And
Um,
people kind of forget the jump. Like it happened in 2020. Do you remember that jump from Intel to M1?
yeah, yeah, I do.
Unreal.
And it's still, I still use an M1. Granted, it's an M1 Max, but I still
Uh,
use an M1 Max 14-inch MacBook Pro, which is actually was going to be my number two. Um,
okay.
it is, so we can kind of say like a slash Apple Silicon slash MacBook if you
Yeah.
want to do it that way. But Apple Silicon is it's the foundation of all Apple's products now,
Hmm.
and it is amazing. Like this M1 Max MacBook, I have really find no reason to upgrade. Like
Yeah.
it still does everything that I needed to do. I am running an entire studio with 4 different cameras, and that's another thing. I still need to get that video posted. So I've been saying it for like 2 months now.
We gotta
But
everybody comment, Jeff, get it out, get it out.
yeah, exactly. So I have this MacBook in my little desk right here. It's inside the drawer of this desk.
So this M1 Max is still your main computer.
It's my main computer for everything.
Nice. Yeah.
So it's inside. It's in clamshell mode. So it's inside it. So I guess I could use the MacBook Air
Yeah. That's
with two
perfect for you.
displays. Yeah, but it's in clamshell mode, just in this little desktop, and it's running everything. So it's running. I have it connected to like 4 different docks, like daisy chained. It's crazy. It's crazy. So it's going to one Thunderbolt cable. That's all I have connected to it. Going to a dock that's mounted on the back of this desk, and then from there I have the going from that dock to the studio display to this microphone to my external SSD. Then I have another Thunderbolt cable that's 3 meters long going to an entertainment console back there that is connected to 3 other docks. And that one of those docks connects to 4 different cameras. Another
What?
one of those docks connects to a Blackmagic HDMI output with 4 different HDMI outputs. Another one of those docks connects to, I can't remember what it does. It's like just I can't remember. I'll explain it in my post.
Yeah.
But it's insane. Like, dude, if you saw the IO like topology, you would be like, what
We
is
need
going
we
on?
need a we need a cable management master class out of you. Like not even a desk setup. I want to see how everything is kind of connected and wired together.
Yeah, and that's kind of
But
what
on the
this
Mac.
post is going to be about. Like, I
Yeah.
really want to get this out ASAP. Hopefully, like today or sometime really soon, because
Yeah.
it's insane. Like one cable, and this M1 Max MacBook is able to record 4 different 4K 30 frames per second sources simultaneously
Jeez.
at the
And
same
that
time.
and how old is that chip?
I mean, this is
2025?
the
M1
M1. It's
Max?
an M1 Max.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's wild.
So it's
So
only
it needs to
32
stay
gigabytes
suppressed.
of RAM, 512 gigabytes of storage. I mean, it's a powerful machine, but it's not like the top of the line of Apple
Yeah.
Silicon.
And then if you
But
look at the other side of the spectrum, that the M1 MacBook Air, which they sadly just discontinued, they
mhm.
just got rid of the wedge design. That thing was powerful for days and still is. Like if you still have one, if you still are looking just for like a throw around computer that you can do your schoolwork on and you're not doing anything crazy intensive like what Jeff just mentioned, that thing will last you for another 5, 6 years, which is amazing. Right? I remember when people were open up like, let me see how many apps I can open at the same time, how many Chrome tabs I could have open at the same time. And it was like people with the baseline M1, 8 gigs of RAM, had 100 Chrome tabs open and it was still running and showing 4K YouTube videos running at the same time and having different audio sources. And it was just amazing the amount of multitasking power that you were able to do with that transition from Intel to M1. Because I used to have an Intel MacBook Air and it was just trudging along if I had like 4 or 5 Chrome tabs open. It was just
For
like
sure.
freezing. I don't think since we transitioned to M1, I haven't gotten the rainbow wheel of death. You know, the little rainbow that shows up on your mouse.
Oh, I get that still sometimes,
Oh, you
but
still get
it's rare.
that?
Every now and then I do get it in like Final Cut Pro or Logic,
Okay.
but I mean, I am running just a ridiculous amount of stuff.
You're in
Your
the top
regular app.
0.01%, I think, in terms of
Yeah, yeah,
power
for
users.
for sure, yeah. So I mean, I think it's unanimous. I think we
Yeah.
both agree that Apple Silicon should be, if it's
Number
not number
two.
one, it's number two, right? It's
Because it
up
also
there.
powers not just the Mac lineup, but also the iPad lineup, which again is the iPad for what it is. Yes, talk about the iPad OS limitations and this and that, but sheer raw power in that thing, especially for the size, the iPad
Yeah,
Pro, And again, it's powered by the M1 and the M2. And it's just amazing how quickly it can export 4K footage, how you can technically have multiple things running at the same time. It can handle large file formats super easily. And again, we're talking about a tablet, you know?
Yeah.
So
And
the
that was going
M1's
to be
designed.
actually, is that going to be your number three, the iPad Pro? Was that
Yeah,
your next
yeah.
item?
iPad Pro is going to be my number three
So
for
we have
sure.
AirPods Pro 2. We
Mm-hmm.
have Apple Silicon slash MacBook.
MacBook. Yeah.
And then we have iPad Pro. And then we
Yeah.
have Apple Watch.
Apple Watch.
So iPad Pro, I agree with you.
iPad Pro.
I
Yeah. I
agree.
mean, you remember when the 2018 one came out?
Yeah,
The
I still
2018
do.
iPad Pro, amazing. The feat of
Amazing.
engineering. It was like the last time that I really got hyped around like a design change of a product for Apple. Absolutely unreal what they were able to do. Because before that, yes, Apple had like different kinds of iPads, but they all kind of look the same. I mean, now
Yeah.
they all look the same again. If you
Yeah.
take a step back, but they were all little. They weren't meant to be used in a like scenario or setting, right? It was like throw around tablet, like a screen to read your email, like the way Steve Jobs talked about it. He just wanted a bigger canvas to read ebooks, surf Safari and things like that. The 12.9-inch Gen 1 iPad Pro that came out, that big basically table that you could buy.
Yeah,
uh, that started to show signs of how powerful they could be. I remember because I
for
remember I got
sure.
a hand me down from my dad, and then the 2018 iPad Pro came out with the A12X and blew everybody away.
The
And then they finally,
2018 it was the like the touchstone. Like
yeah,
it's still an amazing product.
hmm
Um
that's when they
and
finally divided iOS into iPad OS. It was no longer because it used to just run like a modified version of iOS. I remember, and
yeah.
then just like added a couple of features like split screen and stuff like that. But then they finally gave us iPad OS 13 and with the Today View, and it just felt like a new product. It just felt like something brand new. And the iPad Pro is always gonna have a special place in my heart, man. That thing started it all. I don't think I'd be on YouTube if it wasn't for the iPad Pro. Funny enough.
Yeah, I wholeheartedly agree with everything. Like it like even like the 2018 is the device. Like obviously we have the
Hmm.
newer ones now, and they're better for various reasons. But that 2018 model was like still looks good to this day. Like the bezels,
Hmm.
because remember prior to this, that big iPad had huge bezels. Again,
Huge.
we're
The
talking
machine forehead,
sidewalks.
dude.
We're talking sidewalks, man. But this
Yeah.
in the newer iPad that's supposed to be released maybe next week is supposed to be even slimmer, have slimmer bezels. So I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, it's hard to like. I was even like making some music with Logic. Have you
Uh-huh.
tried Logic on the iPad?
I've not tried Logic.
Hands
I
down,
gotta
the most impressive app on the iPad, in my opinion.
really.
Like next to LumaFusion and Logic, their
Yeah.
Logic
Okay.
is an amazing application. It's very deep and it's like kind of it's a little overwhelming, but I highly recommend learning it because it
To make
is
some beats.
oh, it's incredibly powerful. Like I was thinking, hey, do I want to get Ableton Live? Because the new version of Ableton Live came out. I think it's version 12, and they have like a standalone like controller with it. You can make beats, and there has all the touch pads and all that. I was just thinking, do I want to get Ableton Push 3 standalone, or do I want to just get an iPad?
iPad.
I mean,
It's
it
no
is.
question.
This is a standalone music making machine right here. Like you can make a full album Grammy
Hmm.
nominated with just this
Who
iPad.
is do you know the creator? He kind of, I think he stopped making beat or he stopped making content or as much. Henny the Business, I think his name
Yeah, I
was.
know, Henny. Yeah,
Yeah, I used to watch his stuff all the time, and he's a producer, I think, right?
yeah,
He's
he
definitely in
is.
that world, and he
Yep.
was another one of those fellow like iPad Pro lovers. He
Mhm.
did everything on the iPad, like you're exactly how you're talking about. So I'm sure he's playing with a lot. He'd be somebody cool to get on. We should reach out to him.
Yeah, he would definitely be a good one to have on, and he's cool, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, we
So
we communicate a few times, but yeah, for sure. Like the iPad, and not only can it do what you're talking about, but then it's also everything else that it can do. It's not just like this one standalone, one trick pony, and it can do like not like the AirPods where we mentioned there are some headphones that can do one thing better than the AirPod, but like everything else is way worse. The iPad competes with the best of them. Even if you are looking at the one trick pony to compare it to, the iPad can get you 99, 100% of the way there, if not more, and then give you everything else on the back end, which is
yeah,
amazing.
yeah, and that's the thing about the iPad. Like when I was working with Logic, and I'll try to keep this short because I know we're running we're running long. But I was working with Logic, and I was like, I made a beat that sounded amazing. Like, and I'm not a great beat maker, but it's like,
Yeah, he is.
this, like, I was just thinking, this thing can do. It can replace a full-on standalone music console,
Hmm.
and that's just one of the things this can do. Like, it can
Yeah,
do. It can wear so many hats. This machine can wear so many hats and be good at it, not
yeah,
just like satisfactory, but like be actually like that's all you need. And then you have the Apple Pencil, so you're thinking like on the piano roll, you're actually drawing in notes with your pencil,
hmm,
and it's just like that's when it kind of hit me like, oh, this is this is better than the Mac version in some ways
yeah,
because of the tactility, being able to draw
yeah.
in notes.
I
Man,
love the Apple Pencil. Just to use it as a replacement to a point and click mouse. Like I don't obviously I'm not a designer, I'm not drawing anything really. I used to take a lot of handwritten notes on the iPad, not as much anymore. But I love the Apple Pencil just as a point and click mouse like replacement. Because
yeah.
yeah, I use it with my Magic Keyboard, which has a trackpad. But for me, the Magic Keyboard and that trackpad is more of an extension of the screen.
I always forget it's even there because I'm like, just it's just so natural to touch the screen. Like,
Yeah, I use it more for just gesture-based controls, like multitasking, take me back home. I don't really use it as a point and click trackpad. That's what I use the Apple Pencil for. I love
gotcha.
the Apple Pencil, and I used to be one of those things where it wasn't like a must-have for me, but now the Apple Pencil for sure in my flow is a must-have.
It's so funny because I was telling you how easy they are to lose. So I found my other Apple Pencil, and now I have two of them.
There
It's
you go.
just hilarious. Um,
Yeah, and for those people that want to save some money, the alternatives on Amazon are pretty good nowadays. For the
yeah,
most part, you can get like all the features that the Apple Pencil 2 gives you.
we'll
So,
we'll put a link in the description so you can
yeah,
find
for a
those.
couple. I think like EIP makes a couple good ones, Panoval, but they're all like sub $40 and they charge magnetically. They
Mm,
don't I don't think they don't have pressure sensitivity, but again, if you're just taking handwritten notes and using it to point and click, they work
awesome.
for sure. So iPad Pro, baby.
All right, so we have AirPods Pro 2, we have Apple Silicon slash MacBook Pro slash Air, we have
Yeah,
iPad Pro. Um, I would default to the 12.9-inch version, by the way, just
yeah.
FYI. We have Apple Watch, and what is going to be your final?
I
Um,
guess do you have one or no? We got to agree on this last one. Let's see, because this one could go
uh,
anywhere. It could be the Apple TV. It could be, we could put the iPhone in here if we want to. And now with USB-C, the workflow is just seconds. Plug in my external drive to my iPhone, offload it to the external drive, plug that drive into my iPad, and I'm working on it,
yeah.
which
So
is
I
something
would
which is amazing.
now that you mention it, yeah, USB C is it's a big deal. Like,
It's a
and
big
I kind
deal.
of forget because I've just taken it for granted recently. But
Yeah,
yeah, I would say iPhone 15 Pro for
let's
sure.
put it in there. Yeah,
Yeah,
iPhone 15 Pro. Yeah, the design was cool, but that's really just an aesthetic thing. 5x telephoto on the Pro Max is actually really good. I don't know if you've played with it a lot.
I have.
But
Yeah,
when it goes from 4.9 to that 5 zoom, you can see the big difference and it gets nice and clear. And
yeah.
I'm pretty impressed with the 5x zoom. But the USB C, it's another one of those things where it's like, yes, I'm using it now for my workflow and it's paying dividends now, but sky's the limit with a USB C port, especially with that 3.0 speed. Dongles, external like Dex like
I mean,
software if you
people
want
are
to
already
do.
using it as like a gaming console, basically. They turn
Yeah,
their iPhone into a gaming console connected to your TVs, and like all you
which
need
is
is a
true.
controller. Yeah,
Yeah,
so I would agree. Actually, I'm feeling more confident about this pick.
yeah.
And maybe it should be a little higher, but I think top five is top five. It's good. I would
Yeah,
say iPhone
and you
15
need
Pro.
it. It's the anchor
Yeah,
for the ecosystem, in
yeah.
my opinion.
Maybe we can end it on this note because so first of all, let's just go through top five again.
Okay,
AirPods Pro 2, number one. Apple
agreed.
Silicon slash MacBooks, number two. iPad Pro, number three. I don't know how to do my fingers.
Yeah.
Number three. Apple Watch, number four. And then iPad Pro, or
No,
iPhone
iPhone.
15
Way to go.
Pro, number five. All
5.
right. So that's a solid list. Do you
Hmm.
guys agree? Let us know down below in the comments whether you
Yeah.
agree or not. And then put your suggestions down as well. But here's what I want. Here's my dream. Here's my dream product.
Okay.
It's not the Apple Vision Pro. It
Ooh.
is an iMac hybrid. So
Oh.
think about the studio display, right? What if I
Uh-huh.
could just take this display right off? It was thin like an iPad. I could take this display off and it goes into iPad mode.
Okay.
And I put it back on and it's a Mac.
Ooh. I'm ready for it.
Think about that.
Maybe the new iPad is doing something like that. Supposedly new Magic Keyboard, new pin connectors. Again, there's a lot of hype for this iPad, but I can see something like that happening.
Yeah, I
And
want a large iPad. Like it doesn't have to be. This is 27 inch. It doesn't have to be
doesn't have to be
that
that
big,
big.
but a
Yeah.
24. Think about a 20 inch, 24 inch iPad.
Hmm.
You could just take it off. You can literally detach it. It has the little pin connectors on the back. You put it on there, and instantly you're in Mac desktop mode. You
Yeah.
take it off, instantly it goes
In
into
Mac
an
OS.
iPad mode.
Yeah. No, I mean, I
It,
can see it. And you can see the OSs are more like with every OS update across all three of these, they're kind of merging more and more. Like the icons looking more and more the same, the cross functionality across Mac OS, iPad OS, iOS, everything just seems to be kind of merging into one single, ecosystem life form software. Where you're like, I could see it where the future is. Yeah, you have your iPhone to just kind of make calls, I guess, eventually, or whatever the case may be. But then as a computer or tablet, it's just an all-in-one, and Apple could do it the right way.
yeah, exciting to think
Let us know
about.
what you guys think.
Yeah, let us know. So let's also know what you think about this the top format, because
Yeah,
we don't do it every week, but every now and then
they're
we'll come
fun
back with
for
with
sure.
another top
I definitely
format.
want to do the services next because Apple's got a lot of services now that we can kind of go through. You know,
Yeah, services and features. Like
features.
we were talking about continuity. That would be, spoiler alert, probably
Top
one of
one.
my number one. Probably my number one.
Yeah, 100%. Nice. But yeah, let us know in the comments down below what you guys think. Also, let us know if you picked up a new MacBook. Curious to know how many people picked one up and what they're upgrading from. Unless I don't know, like if I have an M2 MacBook Air, I don't see a reason to get an M3. But you know who you are if you do want to upgrade. But outside of that, let's see. I'm curious to know what people are upgrading from, especially.
For sure. All right,
All right,
man.
buddy.
Well,
Thanks, so.
thanks for doing this at this late notice. Had
Nah,
some
anytime.
Wi-Fi issues earlier, some internet issues. So appreciate you, Fernando.
Techie's nightmare.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like our
Yeah.
lifeblood gone.
Ugh. But we'll catch you next week.
All right, peace, everybody. Enjoy the weekend.
Take care.